Alright, everything's back together. Now we'll just do a quick tidy up with some tools and then we'll sit down and go through all the settings within the unit. Alright, I've just connected my phone up via Bluetooth and it's now going to ask us to connect to the CarPlay, and we've said yes. And there's our CarPlay menu. It's the new 5-icon wide format with our multi-menus, and we can also display some of the vehicle settings across here. We can change this menu. So this car doesn't have tyre pressure monitors, so we can't display that right now. But I can go in and select pitch and roll, and we've got the pitch and roll on display there. We've got our nav, I've got my music, my reminder, and then back to our home screen. We can also turn that band off. Go back to Kenwood now, takes us back to the heart of the unit. We're just currently listening to analog radio. Nothing fancy, because it's just to test everything. Now we're having a look at our buttons, and we programmed the destination button to be our gauges. Now we've got gauges up on the display. We've programmed our nav to take us to CarPlay. It's doing that perfectly. Home is taking us home. Our volume dial works beautifully. So does our tune and menu. All our fan is coming up across on top of the overlaying the screen. When we're using any of the other HVAC controllers, they're being brought up on the screen. It's just working so well. Now we can go into the Kenwood and we can go into the vehicle info. This is part of the Maestro, what it adds to the car. So as I said, we don't have factory tyre pressure monitors programmed, so we can't display those, but the car's running. It's at 14.4 and it's in park. If I change that, that's going to change up on the display. Something else we might point out, put it into reverse, and just like the OEM, the grid lines are moving. So no functions lost. Our heated seat buttons, they work as well. Then we go into our settings, audio or vehicle, our display, the user interface, the camera, the system settings. This is where we can turn our demo mode off, and we can go in and we can go into our Maestro setup. We can go and access our vehicle features. One of the important ones is to point out the chime and turn signal. So we've got a chime volume. As mentioned earlier, we've got that set at 5. We might bring that up to 8. We can go back. Our turn signal volume is a little low. We're going to bring that up to 10. We can have mute during chiming, but we're not going to. Our heads up display, the metadata, we're going to turn that on. So when we're streaming or using Spotify, we can get album art, not necessarily album art, I apologise, but track info displayed up the top there. Simon will catch a glimpse of that with the video shortly. Vehicle settings, we can go in and adjust our climate. All the settings that were here originally from Holden are still in here. Comfort and convenience, so you can personalise it by driver. So auto wipe in reverse, what happens there is every time you put the car in a reverse, the wiper will make one pass to clear that back window for you. So the vehicle locator lights, that is when you hit unlock and you approach the car, it turns on the parkers so that you can find your car at night in a car park. Exit lighting, how long do you want those lights to stay on when you leave and lock the car? 30 seconds, 60 seconds or 2 minutes. The door locks, do you want it to auto lock? So when you get in or out of the car, anti-hijacking they call that in the US, but over here it's auto lock. It's currently set to on. All these things were set in the previous head unit and they've just carried over, so we're not going to change them. Remote locking, you can go and adjust all those factory settings in there. We can go to our Maestro features, so our Maestro module, we can get diagnostics, we can change the audio level. It might be, as we said, in some factory amplified cars, it might be quiet, might be loud, we can go and adjust that. We can do a master reset, we don't need to in this situation. Accessory during crank, not particularly applicable in this car, mostly in a diesel. Our gauges, we can select our gauges, so we can go and decide what gauge is going to be displayed where. A bit of personalisation there, we're going to leave it. OBD communication, we go through and adjust all of those. So the centre gauge, so if you've got a temp gauge connected and the car's going to get hot, you can have that selected to be an alert. Go in and adjust our camera settings. You can turn those dynamic grid lines on, off, or have them flipped or in reverse. We don't have a front or side camera, so they've been blanked out at this point in time. Follow the e-brake. Basically the handbrake wire will engage certain functions on CarPlay when the handbrake is on or off. Here you decide whether it's working off the switch or whether it's on all the time. Legally, it needs to be on with the switch. So there you have it. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it, guys?